Hi, everybody. Um, because it's spreadsheets, I wanted to show you some options, and I realized this was probably not the one to start with because it looks a little chaotic. But I am a total spreadsheet nerd. I have come to love them. I'm not a math girl, um, but the power they have to make things easily sortable, easily rearrangeable, and easily visible, I think can't be overstated. So I wanted to just show you a few examples of what I use in my daily work or that I've helped teachers plan that might spark ideas for you. This first one is really ugly. It is for one middle school I work in. And what it is a list of students who could potentially be at risk for failing a core academic course for the year. So we run a report out of our system, our grade system, that gives us how many Fs the kids have. And so we only look at those who will pull anybody with one or more, but we're really concerned with when they have two or more. And so that triggers the report. Now you see some are like zero. Well, that's because they didn't have any in the first quarter, but the second quarter they did. So as you progress, we track all of this. What was the change from quarter one to quarter two? I think I have another page where I tracked the remaining quarters, but and then I would pull their grades for each quarter. And these are set to auto color code. It's called conditional formatting. It's super simple to do. You come up here to conditional formatting and you can see I have it set. If the number I input is less than 60, it turns red right away. And if it's greater than 60, it turns blue. And that's just the system we use to know immediately looking across, oh, this student here, I see one blue for the year out of all four courses. This is a concern. And so each quarter we update it, and then we track all kinds of things. There's their testing data and map and this and that, but we use all of these just to track who's at risk, who do we need to start interventions for. Let's start meeting with students. Let's start meeting with parents. What can we do? Let's make some learning contracts. Let's do a BIP if we need, all kinds of things. It is a lot. I get that. A flip side of data tracking, I use this as a coach. Sometimes when I'm coming around doing quick pop-in observations, because I do observe quite frequently, more to get a pulse on what's going on. I'm not administrative. I don't evaluate in any sense, but I'll go into the first class and say, okay, they've got 25 students and they're working independently. And I'm there at the beginning of the lesson. And what are they doing? And I break down how many students are doing these items. And then I have it populate some of these. And as I continue to add class, I start to get a sense of, okay, in this building, in these teachers, I'm seeing a lot of mini lesson work, but a fair amount of independent. I didn't see any group work today. One day, no big deal. So you see, I'm kind of tracking that as we go. And then I also tracked, what was the environment like? What kind of things were we looking at? What were some of our best practices? It was an ELA class. What were they doing? And it's color coded there and all that fun stuff. It looks intimidating. It's really not. You'd be surprised how much Google can help you with things. Other ways we use it besides data tracking. This is my setup for this year. Pineapple lessons, like the pineapple is the aloha sign. So you put a pineapple outside your door. Well, the one building I'm in is very large. It's a quarter mile to walk the outside loop of the classrooms, and that ignores one whole middle wing. So we do a virtual pineapple chart. So it's set up for this year. Anybody can go in and put, oh, Becky Osterfeld, I'm in room 1504, and today I'm doing a mini lesson on voice in writing. And I'm doing it periods 2, 4, 5. So that way, if someone's free, they know, well, I'd love to see that. You can link materials, you could link things. So we really encourage our teachers to take time, whether it's on a plan or sometimes they can get coverage and get a release time to go visit other teachers to steal ideas. And this is one of the ways we manage that. Is it's all optional and challenge by choice, but they can put their name on the pineapple chart for any day they have something they'd love people to either watch because it's cool, watch because they want feedback. So that's an option. I have a teacher, this is one of my science teachers, who does his unit planning this way. And he has the whole year planned out. God love him. Well, not yet, but he uses colors to indicate units. He writes very brief notes on the topic. You can see we've only planned into partway of September, but it's summer. We all get a break, right? He always does make sure to put in his no school and work days. which don't we all? That's the first thing I write in my agenda every year. If you've not had a classroom yet, trust me, you'll do the same thing too. Already got testing days blocked out. So this is a great way to keep a giant year-long plan very simply. I used to do something similar, and then this was my breakdown for, well, year 21, 22. It was the last year I was in the classroom as a teacher, not a coach. This was something I shared with my students. I had a link to it on my website, and it took them right to the proper week each time, and they could see, did I have notes? What did we do? Anything I picked up? Any homework they had? It's all on one page. I also gave them explanations, although by November they knew what all these meant, including whom knew. Weekend homework makes you ugly. I stole that from a teacher, and you're welcome to steal that too. I do believe it. Weekend homework can make you ugly. As I assign homework that's due next Tuesday. Don't do it on the weekend. Kidding. Spreadsheets are amazing for resource collections. This is a hub, which is what we kind of call our hyperlinked documents. And you could certainly do it in a doc, but it's so much easier to sort in a spreadsheet because you can sort automatically by all kinds of things, right? And so if they need ideas, as we find resources and teachers come back and share with me, yes, that was good, yes, that worked, I drop a link into it, and then it's here when you forget. And I've given them a link in case they think of something. And those were just the general ones. And then we've got, oh, do you just want ELA? Do you need something for SEL? Do you need something for study skills? Because, oh boy, our kids struggle with those. You can see some obviously have more development than others, but it's a great place that we remember, okay, it's all here. I just go to the hub and then I can find it. So that's an option. And the color coding always helps, catches attention. Here is another way. This is same science teacher, the overthinker, overplanner. He does student self-paced units a couple times throughout the year. And so he has set up all of his activities. Everything's available to the student from the start. They're all standards based. He knows exactly what they have to do. He has a master spreadsheet that has every period in there. Now, we were working on this at the very end of the year, so we only piloted it with a couple, and it looks like he didn't even transfer the data yet, but the students have well, I don't think I have the sheet. We have a sheet where we have the real name and then the student's gamer tag because we didn't want their real name appearing out in the wild. We don't want to know that Becky Osterfeld has not started anything yet. But, this way, Gamer Farts 67, can you tell I teach middle school? Nobody really knows who Gamer Farts is, although I'm sure he advertised that. And I'm also assuming that it was probably a he. But the way it works is the student is working, they're coming through and marking. It defaults to not started. They can mark, oh, I'm working on this today, or, oh, I've completed it and I took the final quiz or exit ticket or whatever formative assessment and I got a 70% or better. They mark that, and then the teacher at a glance can see immediately. Now the students can see all of this too, and they do have access. So we had to talk about how you don't edit other people's. We can see this through version history, all kinds of, but this way he can look immediately and go, okay, El Tigre, he's making some great progress. Didn't quite get to the last two, but had 78% so far. Okay. Lil Bean hadn't done anything yet. So they're at 0% completion. So it was an easy way for students to know what came next. And this tied to a Google Classroom assignment. So they had their activities in there. This was just marking progress. But it fits kind of on that TIM matrix. That last learning environment was called goal directed, and that was confusing for some people. This is what they're kind of talking about. A student is tracking their progress, and they know their goal is 100% completion, but to show completion, their goal is 70% or better on whatever that exit piece is. So just some ideas on spreadsheets. You could Google how to use spreadsheets and it will give you a ton of ideas in education. I would say don't be scared of them. You would be surprised now how easy it is to program these things. It used to be you had to know all the formulas and this and that. But now I can say, well, I have things in column A and column B, and I want to put them together with column A first, comma, column B. How do I do that? And Google will say, here's the formula you need, and it'll give it to you exactly. You just copy and paste it in. So don't let the idea of spreadsheet intimidate you if you're not used to using these as much. It can be an incredibly powerful tool, and it's really only limited by your creativity. So I hope this gave you some ideas for your minute paper. I'm sure you will find